Hey darlings, welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda. If you're just tuning in into my channel today, you're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, you're most welcome. So today I'm going to be making a tutorial on how to make this statement DIY scrunchie. So on my table now I have my fabric, I have my band, and this band is 7 inches in length. I'm going to be using it much later on. So I have my tape rule for measurement. I have my wording. This particular wording is known as the ST, which is heat activated when it's being attached to the fabric. I'll be using it to support my lightweight material. I also have this tool. This tool here is known as a tool for making hair. Since I'm substituting for my safety pin, I'm going to be using this to be passing my band into the fabric. So guys, I have cut out the long strip of material which I'm going to be using. I have 3 strips here. This is 40 inches by 7 inches, and the second piece of the fabric which I cut will serve as a lining is 15 inches in length and 3 inches width. Then for the last one, which I'm going to be using to encase my band, I have 14 inches in length and 2 inches width. Alright, so guys, I'm going to be placing this particular one as the lining into the main fabric, and I'll be using it to hold the fabric in place instead of a band. Next, I'm going to be folding my material into equal halves, right side to right side facing each other, and I'm going to be making out my markings. Then for this, I'll be setting it aside for now, and the other last strip of the fabric is for my band. I'm going to be folding it also, and I'll be sewing at 0.25 inches along the length of the fabric. And I'll also be repeating the same thing for this one. But first of all, I'm going to be making out my markings. Here I went up by 0.5 inches markings. I marked 0.5 inches, that is half of an inch at this point, and then I went in to mark 4 inches from this point to this point, and I'll be indicating it for you guys to see. I don't know if you can see this, but I'll try and make it possible for you to understand. From this point to this point, I went out by 0.5 inches to this other point at 4 inches. And I'll be repeating the same thing for this other end of the fabric. And I'll be cutting them for you guys to see. I went ahead to further fold the material into 2 equal halves, and I have slashed out the excesses, and I'm simply going to be adding my wording, my ST, on the wrong side of the fabric, and I'll show you guys. Now I've added my ST to the fabric, and here's what I got. I'll be folding it into 2 equal halves, and I'll be matching it up. Now I'm going to be sewing along the rough edges at 0.5 inches allowance. Then I'll run a stitch upon my machine. So guys, I'm done running a stitch along the edges, so I'm going to be turning this inside out, and I'll repeat the same thing for the other piece of fabric. Now I'm done turning the both fabric inside out, and I went ahead to press the other little fabric. I made sure to put the seam line in the middle. It's time to set this aside, and I'll be passing my elastic band into this. So here's what I got after I've passed my elastic band into this fabric. Next, I'm going to be securing the both ends of my band with this fabric, just to avoid it from snapping back. And next, I'm going to be passing my lining into the main fabric. I'll be using this tool right here to pass it by piercing the lining. Then I'll pass it into the main fabric like so. I'll be securing this place with my pin as well so that I'll prevent it from snapping back once again. Now I'm done passing my lining into my main fabric. I'm going to be securing it like I did to the others, and I'll be setting it in place as well. I'm going to be rotating this fabric to allow my joining area, which I have made. I'll be setting it to be in the middle. And I'll take it to my machine to run a stitch just right there. Now I'm done securing the edges with the stitch, and I'm simply going to be rotating it gently to give me what I want. And here is the scrunchie coming together in one piece. Now I'm going to be attaching these two pieces together by aligning it to face each other, right side to right side, just like so. I'll be repeating the same thing as well for the other end of the fabric. Now guys, I've gone over my machine and I run a stitch. Now I'm going to be encasing it into each other by closing this end like so, and also run a stitch there and trim off the excess threads, and I will repeat the same thing for the other end just like I did earlier. Now I'm done stitching it, and I'm done trimming out the excess threads. Next is to give it a neat finishing, and I'll pull it out to give it the finished look. And now our scrunchie is done with. So here's the final look of it. This is how it looks like. You can rock this to your parties. It just fits for every occasion you're going for. And that's the end of the video, guys. If you like this video, give me a giant thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also share to your friends and loved ones who might like this video. Bye.